PeopleSoft Supplier Scorecarding helps you measure supplier performance by soliciting feedback about the supplier from users across your organization. This helps you make future procurement decisions or determine whether you need a supplier mitigation plan. To rate a supplier using the supplier scorecarding process, first, the scorecard committee members create evaluation questions and templates based on your organization's key performance criteria. Next, scorecard owners create evaluations for specific suppliers and invite evaluators, including requesters, inventory managers, quality control managers, payables clerks, and anyone else who interacts with the supplier. Next, the evaluators fill out a simple evaluation form and submit it. The scorecard owner monitors all incoming evaluation responses. Finally, reviewers analyze the supplier scorecard results. You can repeat this process for other suppliers and for the same supplier over time. Let's create an evaluation to illustrate how the supplier scorecarding business process works. Start by logging into the system and opening the supplier scorecard tile on the Procurement Operations homepage. The supplier scorecard dashboard shows you all of the tiles you need to set up and use supplier scorecarding. We'll start creating an evaluation as a scorecard owner by opening the Create Evaluation tile. On the Create Evaluation page, you can copy an existing evaluation or create a brand new one. The Copy Evaluation option simplifies the process by enabling you to copy from an existing evaluation. Then, just rename the evaluation and update it with any changes you require. When you choose the Copy From option, the Search Evaluation window shows you a list of existing evaluations. We'll monitor the performance trend for one of the existing suppliers. Next, you'll need to rename the evaluation so that anyone accessing this evaluation can differentiate it from similar evaluations. For example, you can rename the evaluation by adding or editing the evaluation period. Now, the system shows you the simple 4-step Create Evaluation Activity Guide for the supplier. We're on the first step, General Information. For this evaluation, we'll change the evaluation description and evaluation period. Then, we'll move on to the second step, Template Information. Templates are standardized sets of questions, sections, weightings, and scoring models created by the scorecard committee members. Templates represent the key performance criteria that your organization chooses to track in order to help monitor your strategic objectives. You can see all details of the evaluation template on this page. For this evaluation, we'll use the Commodities Evaluation template, which is already selected. Next, we'll go to the third step, Evaluators. In this step, you can review all the evaluators invited to evaluate the supplier. Notice that one of the evaluators is assigned to evaluate the pricing and customer service sections only. Since this evaluator doesn't have experience with delivery or quality performance, she won't be evaluating those sections. Under Review and Release, you can view all the details entered in the previous steps. Review the details and click the Release button to invite evaluators to rate the supplier. Now let's sign in as an evaluator. The My Evaluations tile indicates how many evaluations are waiting for your review. Select the tile to see the complete list of new and in-process evaluations. Let's open the evaluation that we just released. The Supplier Evaluation page shows you summary information for an evaluation, which includes the name of the supplier, the period of time for which you are evaluating the performance of the supplier, and the date the evaluation is due. Let's start the evaluation. The information icon, available for some questions for which you may require more information, shows you additional instructions for the questions. These instructions can help you make the most accurate rating selection. When comments are required, the system lets you know by showing text in the comment box. After you're finished with your evaluation, submit your response. Your job as an evaluator is done. Now we'll log into the system as a scorecard owner. Scorecard owners monitor the evaluation responses and decide when the evaluation is ready for posting and available for review. We'll navigate to the Supplier Scorecard dashboard. Here, you can see the Manage Evaluations tile. Select this tile to view any evaluations you created, as well as the other evaluations you are managing. Let's open an evaluation. The Manage Responses page shows you all the incoming responses from the evaluators. The chart gives you a summarized view of all the evaluation responses received, those that are pending, and those not started yet. You can also see the average score of all the evaluations submitted so far. On this page, you can change the due date, add and remove evaluators, send reminders to the evaluators, view specific evaluator responses, and omit responses. Notice that an evaluator was added after the evaluation was created. Let's go to the next step to see the average scores based on all of the submitted evaluation results. Column A shows the average score for each question, and the total score for each section is underneath the section. To find out more about evaluations and scoring, click the Information icon. The Scoring Model Help window shows you detailed information and an example of how evaluation scores are calculated. When you're ready to make the evaluation results available for others to review, click the Post button. This makes the evaluation results available for Scorecard Analytics. Now let's take a look at the Scorecard results. PeopleSoft provides 7 different Scorecard analytics. We'll take a look at a couple of these. We'll start with the Supplier Watch List on the Procurement Operations homepage. The Supplier Watch List shows a list of the suppliers you've selected to monitor along with their event data. Let's take a look at the Scorecard analytics for the supplier. Here, you can see the 3 related information analytics. The Supplier Performance Analytic shows the results of the latest evaluation for the supplier you're viewing on the watch list. You can see the overall score and scores broken down by section. You can see how the scores are trending and whether the scores are trending up, down, or are flat. You can also see an overall trend line for each of the scoring areas. You also have analytics for the overall score trend and the section score trend, which show how the supplier is trending over time. We'll use the overall score trend to show the power of using pivot grids for analyzing scorecard information. The Expand icon lets us drill into the pivot grid. Here, you can see a more detailed view of the overall score trend. Expanding the search criteria on the left lets you alter your pivot grid results by changing the criteria. For example, you can view evaluations for all suppliers on watch or just selected suppliers. Let's compare this supplier with other suppliers you're currently watching. Notice how the pivot grid changes so that you can visually compare all suppliers over the past year. You can quickly see who your top performers are and those suppliers you may need to put on a performance plan. If you're interested in seeing more details on the individual questions and section scores, use the grid under the chart to drill down and view evaluation results per supplier for a specific evaluation period. You can see the breakdown of the individual question and section scores to determine where a supplier is doing well and where evaluators are reporting problems. Don't worry, all the data is confidential. The reviewer won't be able to tell who the evaluators were or how they individually responded. The PeopleSoft Supplier Scorecarding process helps you make procurement decisions with its simple and intuitive method for determining whether supplier performance is meeting your organization's supplier performance requirements. For more information, go to PeopleSoftInfo.com.